Welcome to another episode of Russell Realty Minute with your host, Evan Russell, where Evan shares his real-world real estate experience with you. If you like what you hear, please be sure to give him a quick review right here in iTunes. Thank you for listening.
Let's talk pre-approvals. Yes, they're important. Yes, you need a pre-approval. Is it required to get a pre-approval before you go look at homes? I say no, it's not. Let's take other industries, for example. When you walk into a car lot, do you look at the cars or do you go to the finance department? You look at the cars, of course. When you go into Best Buy to buy a TV, do you go look at the TVs before you apply for a Best Buy credit card? Certainly, you look at the TVs before you do a Best Buy credit card. Same thing with Home Depot. Same thing with siding. Same thing with anything else that involves financing. You do your homework on what you want to finance, and then you go finance it. Now, when some buyer agents will put up a stonewall and says, listen, I'm not taking you on unless you're qualified, unless you're pre-approved. I really look at it the other way. Let's go out. Let's look at the houses. Let's see what you like. Let's see what a certain price gets you, what a $400,000 gets you, what $500,000 gets you, what that may look like. Then let's go back to our lender partner and let's say, hey, listen, I looked at a house that's $350,000, $400,000, $550,000, whatever it is. What's that going to cost me per month? Let's crunch the numbers and see. And then we go through the formal mortgage process. Now, it's obviously advantageous to get pre-approved so you know what a $500,000 house is going to cost you. But it's certainly not a requirement, not in my book anyway. It's not a requirement to get pre-approved before we go out that first time, introduce myself to you, make sure our styles match, make sure we're going to work together. I can explain the process to you, explain what the lender's going to look for, and we can build a relationship together that says, this is who I work with, this is what they do, this is how they go about the pre-approval process, this is what you'll need, this is the questions to ask, that sort of thing. So I think there's tremendous value in actually going out and meeting a potential buyer agent and looking at a house before you really sit down and talk to a lender, because the buyer agent is going to give you a lot of tips and a lot of ideas and a lot of information and a lot of questions to ask the lender, so you're more prepared, so you're better dialed in for when you have that conversation. And number two, I'm going to refer a lender partner that I work with. I'm going to refer somebody that I know. I'm going to refer somebody that I understand their process, that we work well together, that's going to put you in a good spot to get pre-approved for the home that you want, understand the pricing, the terms, how the taxes roll in, private mortgage insurance, FHA versus conventional. We can have all those conversations while we're out looking at the home prior to you calling a lender and getting pre-approved. Now, the downside to that is sometimes people will go to some of these online places, I won't mention any names in my podcast here, where you can get a pre-qualification pretty quickly. Now, those qualifications are okay, but they're not full pre-approvals. They're quick surface level credit check kind of pieces of paper that really don't hold a lot of weight. A proper pre-approval is verifying your income, verifying your assets, verifying your tax returns, and some other things to make sure that you are in line. Some of these other places that will spit out the quick pre-approval on your phone in 30 seconds, not necessarily the same thing. So the stonewall is a buyer agent or a realtor won't take you out until you're pre-approved. We don't really work that way. I'd be happy to take you out, be happy to meet with you, be happy to introduce myself, my company, and how I do business, and then, of course, refer you to a lender that I've had success with, and we can build a relationship. Then you can go explore the financing.
This has been another Russell Realty Minute, brought to you by Evan Russell.